For millions of people around the world, Brilinta, also known by its generic name ticagrelor, has long been considered a lifeline. It's a medication prescribed to those who have already suffered a heart attack or stroke, offering hope and protection against another potentially devastating event. Doctors have relied on Brilinta for years, trusting the science and the data that supported its use. For patients, taking this small pill each day has become a routine, a symbol of security in the face of serious health risks. But now, a recent and highly publicized investigation by the British Medical Journal has cast serious doubt on the very foundation of that trust. The BMJ's findings have sent ripples through the medical world, raising urgent questions about the data that led to Brilinta's approval and widespread use. According to the investigation, there are troubling allegations that key information from early clinical trials was either misreported or left out entirely. Some experts now believe that the effectiveness of Brilinta may have been exaggerated, and that the risks and side effects were not fully disclosed to doctors or patients. These revelations have sparked intense debate among scientists, regulators, and healthcare professionals. For patients who depend on Brilinta every day, the news has been deeply unsettling. Many are now left wondering if the medication they trusted is as safe and effective as they were led to believe. The controversy has also left doctors in a difficult position as they try to reassure their patients while grappling with new uncertainties. At the heart of this issue is something bigger than just one drug. What's truly at stake is the integrity of the scientific process itself, and the trust we place in pharmaceutical companies, regulatory agencies, and the entire healthcare system. When data is manipulated or withheld, it undermines the very foundation of modern medicine. On one side, we have a drug that has been prescribed in good faith for years, with the intention of saving lives. On the other, we now face credible claims of data manipulation and scientific misconduct. The stakes could not be higher for patients, doctors, and the future of drug approval. In this video, we'll break down what Brilinta is, how it came to be approved, the new warnings and concerns that have emerged, and what all of this means for the millions of patients who rely on it every day. We'll also explore what this controversy reveals about the challenges of ensuring drug safety and transparency in today's world. Ticagrelor, sold as Brilinta by AstraZeneca, is a blood thinner designed to prevent dangerous clots. It's mainly prescribed to people who've already had a heart attack or suffer from unstable angina, those at high risk for another event. The drug works by making platelets less likely to clump, reducing the risk of heart attack or stroke. In the UK, it's prescribed about 45,000 times a month, often alongside low-dose aspirin for a stronger anti-clotting effect. This dual therapy is the standard for patients recovering from acute coronary syndrome. The goal isn't to cure heart disease, but to prevent a recurrence. For these patients, taking their medication is a daily lifeline. That's why questions about Brilinta's true effectiveness are so critical. Brilinta's approval hinged on the massive Plato trial, which compared it to the older drug clopidogrel in over 18,000 patients. The results suggested Brilinta was more effective at preventing heart attacks, strokes, and death from vascular causes. These findings led to rapid global approval and made Brilinta a blockbuster drug. However, some researchers soon noticed inconsistencies in the data, especially across different regions. Later studies sometimes failed to show the same level of superiority over clopidogrel. And like all strong blood thinners, Brilinta carries a higher risk of bleeding. Despite early concerns, the narrative of Brilinta's superiority dominated, until now. The foundation of its approval is now under renewed scrutiny. The BMJ's investigation zeroed in on two early-phase trials that set the stage for Brilinta's later success. It alleges that a quarter of the platelet activity data was left out of the official records submitted to the FDA. Omitted data from key U.S. trial sites reportedly showed the drug was less effective than claimed. Even more troubling, some patients' platelets became more active, a paradoxical and dangerous effect. These anomalies were excluded from the final analysis, raising serious questions about the drug's true potency. The integrity of Brilinta's foundational research is now in doubt. This could have major implications for how the drug is viewed and prescribed. For years, a small but determined group of experts, including Dr. Victor Cerebruani, have raised their voices to warn the medical community about significant flaws in Brilinta's clinical trial data. Despite the drug's widespread adoption and the confidence many placed in its results, These critics have consistently questioned the integrity of the evidence supporting its use. Dr. Sara Bruani, in particular, has argued that the evidence for Brilinta's superiority over clopidogrel, a mainstay in heart attack treatment, was never as robust as pharmaceutical companies and some researchers claimed. He's pointed out inconsistencies in the data, unexplained anomalies, and a lack of transparency in how results were reported. Now, the recent findings published by the BMJ lend new weight to his concerns. The journal's investigation has uncovered troubling gaps and potential misreporting in the foundational studies that led to Brilinta's approval, suggesting that the drug's scientific foundation may be far shakier than previously believed. If the early clinical trials were misreported or selectively presented, then the conclusions drawn from later, larger studies that shaped treatment guidelines and influenced countless doctors, are also called into question. This casts a shadow over years of research and patient care decisions. Dr. Sara Bruani believes that, had the full story been available from the start, doctors around the world would have approached Brilinta with far more caution. Many patients might have received different treatments, and the medical community might have demanded more rigorous evidence before embracing the drug. This ongoing debate highlights a core tension at the heart of modern medicine: the relentless push for innovation and new therapies versus the equally important need for rigorous, independent verification of scientific claims. It's a delicate balance, and when it tips too far in favor of speed or commercial gain, patient safety can be compromised. The Brilinta story stands as a cautionary tale, a vivid example of what can happen when commercial interests and the desire for breakthrough treatments overshadow the uncertainties and complexities of scientific research. It's a reminder that even the most promising new drugs must be scrutinized with skepticism and care. In the end, skepticism and transparency aren't just academic ideals. They are essential safeguards in the process of evaluating new treatments. They protect patients, guide doctors, and uphold the integrity of medical science. The stakes in this debate are incredibly high, not just for the patients whose lives depend on these medications, but for the credibility and future of medical research itself. The lessons learned from Brilinta's story will echo for years to come. AstraZeneca and the researchers involved have strongly defended Brilinta and the integrity of their trials. The company insists the drug is safe, effective, and supported by robust evidence. Dr. Paul Goebbels' team at the center of the controversy calls the misconduct allegations baseless and says any data exclusions were standard procedure. Critics argue the omissions systematically favored the drug. Regulatory agencies like the FDA and MHRA are now under pressure to re-examine the original data. The journal that published the controversial studies has not commented. At the heart of the dispute, were regulators given the full story? The outcome could affect millions of patients and reshape trust in the drug approval process. To understand the stakes, let's review why antiplatelet drugs matter. Platelets help stop bleeding, but when they clump inside narrowed arteries, they can trigger heart attacks or strokes. Antiplatelet drugs like Brilinta and clopidogrel make platelets less likely to stick together, reducing the risk of dangerous clots. Brilinta blocks a specific receptor on platelets, preventing them from activating. The challenge is balancing clot prevention with the risk of excessive bleeding, a known side effect. For patients who've already had a heart event, these drugs are essential, but not without risks. The central question: does Brilinta's benefit truly outweigh its risks, especially if the data was flawed? That's what makes this controversy so urgent. While Brilinta is used to prevent heart attacks, it's also vital for stroke prevention. A stroke happens when blood flow to the brain is blocked, and every minute counts. Remember the acronym FAST: face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, time to call emergency services. Other sudden symptoms include numbness, confusion, vision trouble, dizziness, or a severe headache. Even if symptoms fade, seek help immediately. Mini-strokes are a warning sign. Note when symptoms start. This helps doctors choose the best treatment. Quick action saves lives and limits disability. Knowing the signs is crucial for everyone, especially those at risk. The Brilinta controversy is a stark reminder that patient safety depends on honest science. When the integrity of clinical trials is questioned, it can shake our trust in the entire healthcare system. For patients and families, this can be unsettling, especially when you rely on your medications to manage serious conditions like heart disease. If you're taking Brilinta, don't panic or stop your medication suddenly. This can be dangerous. Abruptly discontinuing a heart medication can increase your risk of complications, so it's important to stay calm and informed. Remember, your health is a partnership between you and your healthcare team. The drug may still be the best option for many, but the new questions are about its degree of benefit. It's not about whether Brilinta works at all, but about how much it helps compared to other available treatments. This is a nuanced issue, and the answer may be different for each individual. Talk to your doctor about your concerns and ask if alternatives like clopidogrel might be right for you. Your doctor can help you weigh the risks and benefits, taking into account your medical history, lifestyle, and preferences. Open communication is key to making the best decision for your health. Decisions should be made together, based on your unique health needs. No two patients are exactly alike, and what works for one person may not be ideal for another. Shared decision-making ensures that your treatment plan is tailored specifically to you. This story shows why transparency and ongoing scrutiny are vital in medicine. Medical research is always evolving, and new information can change our understanding of what's best for patients. That's why it's so important for studies to be open to review and for results to be communicated honestly. Regulatory agencies must investigate and provide clear guidance. Their role is to protect public health by ensuring that medications are both safe and effective. When questions arise, it's their responsibility to dig deeper and keep the public informed. Stay informed, ask questions, and be an active participant in your care. The more you know, the better equipped you are to make choices that support your well-being. Don't hesitate to seek out information or clarification from your healthcare providers. Your health depends on the integrity of the science behind your treatment. By staying engaged and advocating for transparency,